Welcome to Saskatchewan, home of the Roughriders and home to some of the most passionate fans in all of professional sport. But in this land of wheat, it is not the golden crop that symbolizes that passion, but rather the green of the watermelon, a fruit foreign to this land. I'm here to uncover the origins behind the strange ritual of the watermelon helmet. Before I start our quest to uncover the origins of the watermelon helmet, I thought I should turn to the source of more than 100 helmets, Norm Peel. Norm is an accountant by day and a Rider fan by night. I met up with him at the local grocery store for a quick lesson in picking melons.
I've been doing it for a while. I think I did my first one about 4 or 5 years ago, and for the last 3 or 4 seasons I've worn one to every single football game I've gone to.
Norm is considered an expert in the craft of watermelon carving. His foray into the odd-shaped helmets began during a low period for the Riders near the turn of the millennium.
Believe it or not, the Riders were on a bad losing streak, and I figured I'd try something different. I had a hat that I was convinced was cursed, so I tried the watermelon. I wore it for the first time, and I managed to make it last for 5 games. They went on a 5-game winning streak. At the end of the 6th game when they lost, I finally destroyed it. It was time.
While the selection for watermelons is plentiful during the summer, it can be difficult to track down the prized fruit later in the season.
It's probably the easiest at the beginning of the season, but certainly by the time September wraps up, you're starting to get into a time where it's a little more challenging to find a good watermelon.
After sifting through the bin, we found the perfect candidates, and it was off to Norm's house for some slicing and dicing.
So what you want to do first of all is when we're choosing them out at the store there, you want to kind of look for the yellow side. You know, the side that you don't want to use. You know, kind of eye it up where your face is going to go when you actually have it on your head. So you notice this one's kind of very yellow on the bottom, and the reason this is because this is the part that's actually in the dirt when they're growing in the field. So we've got the yellow here, and there's yellow going up here. So I think this is probably where we cut the face hole, and we'll lop the bottom off. So we'll get started by doing that.
So stage 1, you get rid of the bottom of the watermelon.
Yeah, and make sure you use, you know, a semi-sharp knife. You don't want to. I actually like one that's got a bit of a serrated edge. It's easier to cut. If you're trying to use, you know, like a chef's knife or something like that, it's you're in a little bit higher risk of cutting yourself. You know, you got the green part, you got the white flesh and the red flesh. So what you want to do is get all of the red out. What I usually start with is a great big spoon and just start almost bowling it out.
After scooping the red flesh out of the watermelon, Norm elects to use a smaller spoon to remove the finer pieces. Now it's on to stage 3 in the process.
Okay, that one is pretty much ready. You notice that it's got next to no red left in it. You know, there may be a small remnant amount, but really you don't want very much. And then what I usually do, you'll notice that it's green most of the way around, but you got that one little yellow spot. I'll just cut out a little triangle like so. And the reason I do this, just grab some paper towels here, is so you can set it on the counter, and then it can drip dry, but it can still get air flowing underneath it.
Once the melon has dried out for at least 24 hours, it's time to cut out the face and ear holes. This is our finished product, and then that's it. Just go Riders.
Yep, go Riders, go.
Go Riders. How's that? So that is how you make a watermelon helmet, courtesy of Norm, who is one of the biggest experts in Regina, and I guess the CFL making watermelon helmets, live from his kitchen in Regina. With a quick lesson in melon carving under my belt, it was time to continue my quest to find the origins of the watermelon helmet. My melon mentor Norm invited us to a private tailgate party. The hope was that I could find some more answers there.
Well, I mean, I think there's a few stories on it. You know, I think the true story is actually some U of S vet students came up with it about 20 years ago.
While the watermelon is a popular accessory in Riderville, not all fans choose to display their passion with a melon on their head.
It was an evolution. I started, face painting for every game about 7-8 years ago, and just slowly added more stuff. It used to be just the mohawk, and then I built it into the helmet because I got too hot, and added, wife made me the cape, and add the utility belt, and yeah, it's just been constant evolution. I'm working on a new helmet right now, but it's not ready yet.
Why did you choose to go this path as opposed to a watermelon helmet path?
Watermelons are really, really hot and messy.
While these fans had some leads, clearly I had to broaden my pool. There was no better place to continue my search than the pregame tailgate outside Mosaic Stadium. Do you know where the watermelon helmet started?
Yeah, I heard it was a guy, I did hear the story just this week actually, I was reading up on it. He was from a small town in Saskatchewan, he went to Calgary and they bought a bunch of watermelons or something, but I don't know his name, but I'm sure in 20 years from now, his name will be probably emblazoned on the Mosaic Stadium sign there. Watermelon guy, right next to George Reed and Ronnie Lancaster.
Because it was really hot one day and it's like, damn it, I gotta put some on my head because I'm so hot. And it's like, well, geez, we got a watermelon, let's carve it out. Boom, there it is. It's on.
That's how it started.
That's how it started. It was really hot.
100%?
Yep, 99.
I think it started in 1976 with Cleveland Van, linebacker. He wore one after the game.
Here in Regina?
Here in Regina, yeah.
Apparently not everyone at the game agrees with this Rider ritual. What do you think of all these Rider fans in watermelon helmets?
I don't get it, really. I don't even think they can grow watermelons in Saskatchewan, so I don't know what the big deal is over them.
My trail was running cold. Despite all of these diehard Rider fans in one place, I wasn't sure I would find the answer. So I turned to the source, Rod Peterson, the voice of the Riders for close to a decade.
But I guess there was a couple kids in Winnipeg, Rider fans, at the Banjo Bowl, actually before there was a Banjo Bowl, that were walking up the stands high-fiving everybody in the crowd, and they were wearing watermelon helmets, and a couple guys from the Rider marketing staff were there, and they looked at each other and said, I think we have something here. So I don't even know if they talked to those kids or who those kids even are or where they're from.
After searching through the crowds on the outskirts of the stadium, there he was, the possible missing link to my quest.
It was at a Rider away game in Winnipeg in August 2001, and we decided, well, you know, if we're going to go on the road to a Rider game in Winnipeg, we have to represent. So we decided, well, let's paint ourselves green, let's get some Saskatchewan flag capes and put some watermelons on our heads. So, you know, we just went down to the store, carved out some watermelons, went to the game in Winnipeg, and like I said, we were painted up head to toe and went to the game, and we just had a great time just running up and down and high-fiving everybody. I still have the article from August 5th, 2001.
What does it say there?
Well, it just says that it explains how me and my buddy were out of town going to the game, and he saw us with our watermelon helmets running up and down the aisles, and just decided he had to come and interview us and take a photo, and put us in the Winnipeg Sunday Sun. Like, we weren't the original guys to put watermelons on our heads. Some Rider fans from a long time ago had done it, but you know, it had fallen out of favor, I guess, for a long time. We decided to resurrect it.
Chris and his friend Mike may not be the original watermelon helmet guys, but they are the pioneers of the modern era, and that's good enough for me. It's almost game time, so let's see if I can find my buddy Norm in this sea of green. Well, we found Norm here in the stands at the Rider game. Norm, you've shown us how to make a helmet. You've shown us how to prepare for the game. What next?
Well, now we just cheer. Here, I'll give you your watermelon. I'll give you a watermelon, and we'll show you how it's done.
Perfect. Here, crown me. Woo! How long do we keep it on for?
It'll last all day.
So I get to wear it for the rest of the night?
Yeah.
All right, that's it from the stands with Norm. Thanks so much, Norm.
No problem, thanks.
Let's hear it for Norm! Woo! I've traveled all this way to discover the history of the watermelon helmet. Unfortunately, none of the stories seem to stick. The one thing we have discovered is that Rider fans love their football. For CFL.ca, I'm Jamie Stein.